Welcome back again. And now we're moving along with algebra into removing brackets. So we're going to call this episode Algebra Part 2. Yay! Now removing brackets, all you have to do is multiply through the brackets. Whatever is on the left hand side, you would just say that times that, and then you would say here this times this. It's just going in order. Okay, so 2 times a will give you 2a, and 2 times positive b will give you 2b, and that's your answer. Now for b, same thing, you're multiplying this by that, and you're multiplying this by that. So it's a 4 times 3p will give you 12p, and 4 times negative 5q will give you negative 20q. And that's the answer for that. So remember the rules. You remember what the rules are? Positive times a positive gives you a positive. Negative times a negative gives you a positive. Negative times a positive will give you a negative. And positive times a negative will give you a negative. Okay? So those are the rules you need to remember. So here we are. And again, now we have 3 things inside the bracket, but it's the same idea. Whatever is on the left or outside the bracket, you multiply it by each element inside of the bracket. Okay? So p times p, remember you're cloning it, so you're going to get p squared. So you just add them in terms of, if this is p to the 1 and p to the 1, you would say p1 plus 1. Remember what we did? So p to the 1 is equal to p1 plus 1, which give you p squared. Okay? Now, this is p times positive 3q. So we have here plus 3 pq. And then we have p times negative 5r. So we can get negative 5pr. Now that's the answer for that. Wow, had to get me some apple juice on the rocks. Yeah, coughing. All right, so here we have D, and we have to multiply this by each variable, well, each element inside of the brackets. So 5a times b will give you 5ab. So it's like you're sticking them together when it comes to multiplication. And 5a times positive c will give you 5ac. And now here we have this one. This is negative, so anything negative times anything positive will give you a negative answer. So negative 3 times positive 2l will give you negative 6l. And negative 3 times m will give you negative 3m. Okay? Let's go here. We have 2x, and we have y, 2, and 3w. So 2x times y will give you 2xy. 2x times negative 2 will give you a negative number, which is negative 4x. And then 2x times positive 3w will give you positive 6xw. Right? And now we have g. Again, you're just multiplying this by each element in here. So this is negative, so negative 4y times 3x will give you negative 12yx. And negative 4y times negative 2 will give you a positive answer, which is 8y. Here we have 4x squared. So remember, if you have 4x squared, remember that's a 1 up here. So you would add this and this, right? Remember, when you do x to the 1 times x to the 1, you get x squared. Or when you have x cubed times x to the negative 2, you just add them. X to the 3 plus minus 2, which in turn will give you x to the 1, because the negative would override the positive because these two are being multiplied in here, right? Which is actually 3 minus 2, which will give you x to the 1, which is really x. If you have x to the 2 times x to the 2, again it's x to the 2 plus 2 equals x to the 4. So since this is x to the 1 and this is x to the 2, it's going to be x to the 3. You just add it. And so 4x to the 1 times negative x will give you, because this is a 1, exactly you get 4x squared, negative 4x squared. And then this times 1 will give you back the same thing, 4x. Alright, now here we have another one that's negative out here. So it's a negative 2l times m will give you negative 2lm. And then since this is negative and this is negative, when you multiply them, you get a magic positive sign. And so you would have negative 2l times negative 5n, which will give you 10. So we're saying 2 times 5 is 10. And then we're sticking these variables together, l, n. Yay! So those should be your answers. So here we have that. You can see everything. Everything. Cool. Cool. Alright, so those are your answers. Now we're moving on to remove the brackets and simplify. So all you're doing again, when you say remove the black brackets, I mean multiply throughout the brackets. So here we have 3 times x, so 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times y is plus 3y, plus, and here we have 2 times x will be 2x, and then we have positive 2 times negative y will give you negative 2y. And then all we have to do is to look for the like terms. In this case, 3x and 2x are alike, and we could group them, 3x plus 2x, and then we have plus 3y. So this is the same as this, minus 2y. And so you're going to know, so 3 plus 2 is 5x, and 3 minus 2y is 1. 1y, so we could just put back the y, because it's understood. And we're going to do the same thing here. So pq times q squared, so this is 1 and this is 2, so it's a, we have 3q, so we're going to have pq cubed plus pq, because you're multiplying this by this and that by that. And then we're going to have positive pq times 1, so pq again, and positive pq times p2, the negative 2. So this could be rewritten as 1 over p squared. So this will give us plus pq over p squared. Okay? This p will disappear and that 2 will go, because this is actually saying p to the 1 divided by p to the 2. Okay? And so if you look at it, you could say p over p times p. So these are cancelled. You leave with a p down here. Or you can have it like this. P to the 1 minus 2. And that will give us p to the negative 1. And this is actually equal to 1 over p, right? So that is why we end up with a p down here, but q up here, because that is what we got when we multiply throughout. So now we could group. These two are the same, and it's two of them. So we say p q cubed plus 2pq plus 1 over p, right? And that is our answer. Okay, now let's try this one. This multiplied by that, this multiplied by this, and this multiplied by this. Same idea for 2c. We're correct. 4ab plus 4ac minus 4a squared plus 2ac plus 2cb. Do we have anything matching? I can see this and this are matching because we have AC. Anything else? No. So 4AB plus this and this add together will give you 6AC. And then we say minus 4A squared plus 2CB. You see that? So whereas we had 5 things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now we have 4. Because we have 2 things that had the same terms, AC and AC. Okay? And now we have a negative sign multiplying throughout the brackets. So if this is negative and this is positive, this is now negative. So negative m and negative times a negative gives you positive. Positive 5, so negative 1. So you could say this is negative 1 out here. So negative 1 times negative 5 will give you positive 5. And here we have 4 times 4m times m will give you 4m squared. And this will give you 8m. Look for terms that are the same. This is the same, it has an m. And this has an m. Nothing else has only an m. So we would say we could group 8m, which is positive, minus m. So you see the signs go with them. Plus 5 plus 4m squared. And this will give you 7m plus 5 plus 4m squared. And that will be our answer there. So let's hope that you got all of them, and I hope that you understand how you remove the brackets now. So removing the brackets is simply saying multiply throughout the brackets, and whatever is in front of that bracket, you just say, okay, this times this, and this times this. And if you're not so good yet, what you could do is use the arrow system that I would have used. Like, I call them the waterfall of arrows. Yes, I'm a bit extra, but whatever. Anyway, it gets the job done when you have your number and you have your brackets out here and you multiply throughout. And don't forget that when you simplify, it just means to group the like terms together and work accordingly. And last but not least, we have factorizing expressions. So this is like putting brackets back in. So whereas we were trying to get rid of brackets earlier, now we're putting the brackets back in. So we have to look for, in these two elements, we look for the like term. And in this term, we got 3. So we said 3 out here. And we said 3 times what will give you 3x? Definitely x. Put back the sign. 3 times what will give you 3y? Y. And that is what you do. Okay? And here again, we look for the like terms. And what is the like term? Correct. The like term is 4. So we could put 4 out here. 4 times what gives you 4x? X. 4 times what gives you 4y? y. 4 times what gives you 4z? Z. If you think about it, whatever you do here should give you back the same answer up here when you try to simplify or remove the brackets. Now we're looking for the lowest common multiple, LCM, and we know that 5 can go into each of these. So we're going to call out 5. Is anything else there? No. So 5 times what can give you 25a? 5 into 25 goes 5 times. You have an a. Put back the minus sign so that you get back a minus number, a negative number. So 5 into 10 goes twice. And you bring back the b. Put back the negative here. 5 into 5 goes 1. So you just put the c. And so your answer will be, if you multiply out, you'll say 5 times 5a will give you 25a. 5 times negative 2b will give you negative 10b. And 5 times negative c will give you negative 5c. So you will get back the same answer. That's common here. Correct. P. So you bring the p out and you put a in there because p times a will give you pa. And remember you put a negative sign here so you could get back the negative that's supposed to be between here. And so p times b will give you pb. So you put that there. Great. What's common here? The y. So you take the y out, and we know that to get y squared you need another y. So y times y will give you y squared. Put the negative sign, and what will give you 5y? Exactly. Put back the 5. Here, any like terms? Yeah, you have x. Yeah, I mean in the different things. Let's say you have x, you have y, and you have z. Now you're gonna pick the number that's lowest, right? So if you have x and the lowest number is 1, you just put 1x, right? If you have y and the lowest number is 1, you just put back one of the y's. And if you have a z and the lowest number is raised to 2, you put z squared. You just look for the lowest exponent. Now, to get x squared, you need an x. You don't need any more y's, that's a 1. So 1 will be in between there, and that's that. So x times this will give you x squared y z squared. It will give you back that. Put the minus sign. So xy again is common. So all you need is 1z. So when you multiply xyz squared, you will get back xyz cubed. And the last one now, the common variable is x. But which one is the lowest exponent? X squared. So we put that there, and then we say, what more can be added to 2 to get 4? Yes, 2. So you put x squared times x squared to give you x to the 4th. What more can be added to x squared to give you x cubed? Of course, it's just a 1, so you could just put back the x. Or if for your peace of mind, you could stick a 1 up there. And then what more can be added to this to get back this? Nothing. So you could put x to the 0, which actually means x, which means 1. So if you put x to the 0, that's actually 1. 2 to the 0 is actually 2. 3 to 0, I'm sorry, it's actually 1. 3 to 0 is actually 1. So if you put x to 0, understood. And that's your answer. And that's it. So keep up with me, and you'll see Algebra Part 3 being posted as soon as possible. Stay tuned. Peace.